All right. So, Sandula and I have decided to make a tier list regarding Sanctum of Domination raid tier concerning how well and how much fun each one of our raiders were. We definitely enjoyed this tier, so this is why we're doing this.
How good. How good they are. Not well. We can start with Eric.
All right, let's start with Eric. Uh, I actually didn't want to start with Eric, but I'll go ahead and we can go ahead and start with Eric.
You're
But
just going alphabetical order.
I just want to say I never really thought about trying to figure out how to take someone's IP address and find out where they live because he really ticked me off this tier, and because he would grip me randomly and
You
try to
actually have
kill
a
me.
GoFundMe for a predator drone.
Yeah, I was in contact with the
Be
U.S.
careful.
military.
We're almost there. I would say Eric. Eric is like a respectable B tier because he pisses me off too with his grips and then he acts like he doesn't do it. He also he doesn't talk a lot, but when he does talk, he's funny. Actually, I'll bump him to, in my opinion, an A tier because we wiped on Heroic Painsmith like 120 times together, and that was a lot of fun. Um,
What about his DCs though? You gotta take in his.
no, the DCs that's actually a liability for progression,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Eric just happens to always DC, and he's one of those players who has a crutch with his UI, so when he reconnects, he can't really play the game. So,
Right.
um, yeah, in my heart, I say A, but
In
yeah, I think
reality,
we might have to put him at a B. Yep,
B
yep.
tier. That's still good. That's still good.
That's really good. Really good.
All right. Bloodier was a new raider this tier. Came in, I think, on
A little
Painsmith.
early on.
I think he came in on Painsmith.
No, a little. Yeah, maybe a little bit before. Regardless, yeah, mid tier raider.
Came in as a
I
warrior.
yeah, yeah. He said something about how he had a bad performance because he was super stoned or something. I mean, that's fine. We've all been there. Um, I don't know. I don't know,
He helped out a lot
Officer
on
Boot.
Sylvanas.
Yeah, yeah. What would you place Bloodier at?
Uh, I would go B tier, if not C.
Yeah,
B or
yeah.
C.
I think he talks a lot, which is good and all. Sometimes it pisses me off, but other than that, yeah, quality, good guy, good raider, chimed in a lot, chimed in too many sometimes, but um, really fun guy. I'd say we can't be a charity service, right? We have to put
Right.
some people at C tier,
Right.
and I mean, super clutch on Sylvanas with the hunter, good
It's a
good
good thing that
throughput and
he's a
all that.
huge nerd having multiple characters at 60 with gear.
Yeah, with gear, yeah, and for that, I almost want to bump him to a D tier, but we'll keep him at C. Maybe go outside more. Let's move on to the next person.
All right. Boring.
Bourne,
Now,
in my mind, would be S tier. I would bump him to A tier because he quit like a little
mhm.
bitch, but that's totally
I think
fine.
people think he's better than he actually is because of his
I
accent.
I do too. I think just because he's funny and quirky, because sometimes he says funny things. I think people act like he's the best thing since sliced bread, but in reality, um,
Obsessed with anime
just
and Final Fantasy and cat girls.
y- yeah, talks about anime a lot. Sometimes says some really sus shit. So I'd still put him in A because he's just such a good guy. Just so
Right.
fun to have around. It's unfortunate that he can't focus while
Also
people are speaking
flexible.
in
Can
English.
heal when we need him to.
Exactly, and that was a big help I think throughout the tier.
All right, Cavern. I think we would have killed Sylvanas probably maybe like 1,000 pulls earlier if we didn't have Cavern.
And you really can't forget about those back to back deaths on Fate Scribe. That dude was speed running, failing phase 3 on that boss. But anyway, yeah, overall though, you can't really say anything bad about Caver besides how the fuck did you die there? I think that's the only thing that you could really say.
Shows up on
Uh,
time.
yeah, never really had a problem with him ever.
Good
I, I
attitude.
I like his voice too. I think when he does talk, it's pleasant to hear
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
headphones. So I don't know, Officer, but where would you put Caverick at?
I think B. I think B tier.
B tier. Okay, that's yep. That seems like a fair spot for Caverick.
Again, not a charity service, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
CK.
CK.
was probably the golden child in Castle Nathria.
S tier. Doesn't matter. S tier for CK in my opinion. He's just a rock. He definitely died a lot more than you would expect him to. I don't know if it was just like
Mhm.
lag and stuff in phase one. You know, maybe he plays on a Nokia brick phone or
Yeah, when he
something. But
dies, you're kind of like, "Whoa, CK died!" Like everyone just kind of stops. You know, it's kind of like,
yeah, yeah, it like throws the whole raid off because when he dies, you're just like, wow, you know, maybe this is a hard fight. So I would say CK. He's got a really cool sword.
really cool
He's a
sword.
funny guy, real funny guy.
I'm thinking S
Definitely
tier.
use PI as a crutch. Yeah, S plus tier with PI, or maybe just S tier with PI. But since he's just a great all around guy. Yeah, I'd say he's a safe S tier player.
Okay. Death F tier.
Yeah, I think yep, definitely an F tier. All right, and then
Delish.
Delish,
Uh, you know, part of me felt
really
bad for
sassy.
really sassy. Changes his profile picture a lot in Discord. A lot.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed is that, and I mean, I'm sorry for your loss if I'm right. I mean, it used to be him and some woman, and now it's not. So maybe that's where the sass came from. I don't know what's going on there.
I hope not.
Now I hope not too. I hope everything's okay. What I noticed is that he changed it to a picture of his character, and for that, I think he is a solid D tier.
D tier.
Yep, D tier for sure.
Also complained about loot most of the tier, which is fine.
Yeah,
He
that's
wasn't
fine,
getting
but
loot, but
he also yelled at people sometimes, a bit aggressive, which I
mhm,
really like. But uh, you know, again, not a charity service. No one's in the D tier. Name
right.
starts with D. The worst offense is that he has a picture of his World of Warcraft character as his Discord thing. I mean, yeah,
Agreed.
it's not
Can't
2006
contest that.
anymore. Yep,
Not 2006. All right. This is even though it says born, it's Demise.
it's Demise.
Yep. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and just say Demise is S tier.
I agree. I think
He can
Demise is
heal.
funny.
He can damage.
hmm
He's funny. Great attitude.
Organized the healing, which
Very
is a really
organized.
important. Just imagine having someone tell you exactly what to do and still fuck it up. So the fact that he could put that much effort into healing and carry our healers through the tier was really impressive. So yeah, I think Demi's definitely an S tier.
Okay. I feel like we should say more about Demise because he's such a great guy.
Well, this isn't about personal traits only. You know, we can't spend too much time on each person.
Okay. I just love Demise, and he's handsome.
hmm
Also, he's had that picture as a girl for months. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why people like him so much. So
Me. I'm gonna go ahead and say be modest. I'm probably S tier. Um,
you're not, but I mean you're not. But that's all. I would say
I'm
Grave
probably
Boot
B.
is I think that's generous. I think you're C at best, D on average. But yeah, I mean you're the one who has control of the tier list, so I'll let you put
Well,
yourself at whatever you want.
I felt like I was reliable, good on
You were.
gateways, flexible in my specs. Um, maybe I'm not the best at putting down hellstone. I feel like I was pretty good at putting down hellstones,
Sometimes you
summons. I was
and
usually first at the raid to summon people.
yeah, really
Um,
really offended that you played a warlock though. Like some reason you picked
right.
the class that had to do all that and then just complain about it the whole tier.
Okay. C
But
tier.
other than that, okay. Okay.
Isabel. Kind of sassy,
Yep.
pretty
Doesn't
funny.
talk a lot in
Doesn't
raid.
talk a lot, and then she's got something
Only does those little
noises.
loud outbursts of air, yeah. Um I think I mean, I don't think it'd be
she,
fair to
yeah,
Delish to put her any higher than that. I'd say she's a solid D tier.
right. Also,
Yep.
kind of dies a good bit. But I gotta give it to her. She swapped from priest to Pally for the guild, and she picked it up fairly well. So D
Yeah,
tier.
then definitely. Yep. That's a respectable D tier.
Havoc. He came in mid tier. Not sure when.
I I like Havoc a lot. I really liked one time me, him, and Striker were doing a dungeon and they were talking about that Netherwalk thing on KT. And I
Hmm.
really liked how peppy he was with Striker because as we all know, Striker's a spaz. So
Hmm.
that was really nice to hear. Um I think he was solid on he dies a good bit. But in phase one, sometimes I don't notice it a lot, but sometimes when you're just like, oh, we've been doing this for 160 wipes and it's like Havoc's dead in phase one again. So Um, I would say, like, I think B or A. I think he's good at the game. He doesn't talk a lot, but whenever you talk to him
I
or
think
like
I've
kind of
heard
maybe
him say 3
whispering,
words, and that was like, "I hate
I've heard him say
Striker."
more than that. Yeah, that strikers. Never mind, I won't say that word out loud. But yeah, I'd say probably A or B. I think he's just he melded into the guild environment, didn't complain even though he got screamed at, kind of pedaling in front of the whole raid. I
Mhm.
think they made amends and all, but I don't know. But where would you put Havoc?
I never really noticed or took account for what kind of damage he would do and what, but I mean, just him coming in mid tier alone and sticking with us till the end. I think that's a fair enough B tier. What do you think?
Yeah, okay, sure. Fair enough.
All right, our Lord and Savior, John.
John Mage. Yeah,
It's no question S tier.
I think there's a lot of questions actually. I think John's
Oh, F
probably an A
tier.
tier. No, not yeah, maybe F tier. But I think John's probably an A tier. I think when he's really good when he's especially when he doesn't have to raid lead. I mean, he was in limit for a little bit, so um, he's a funny guy. He's nice to be around. Good to have in your raid. He always does
Good
that
raid
thing though
leader.
sometimes
He
randomly when people
researches a
die.
lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, great at raid leading, but outside of that. Sometimes when people die, he just does that thing where he goes, "Come the fuck on, man," and like that really gets you down. So I'd say
That hits
probably an
deep.
A tier because he's hurt my feelings more than once.
Uh, re- Not taking into account his the last thing I had him, but he missed a lot of raid days too because he's getting
Yeah,
married. Like,
yeah. If he's listening, your marriage is not important as cutting edge. So
yeah,
maybe
just
focus
because
up
you
a
can
little bit
hold a
next time we all
relationship
raid
and you found
together.
someone you
Yeah.
can trust,
Yep.
does not put us under you, John. All right,
I agree.
and then
All
for
right,
that you're A
lunar.
tier. Okay.
Lunar can't spell the word lunar. Sometimes I wonder if he can even spell his real name, but I think
Also
Lunar's
came in mid
probably
tier. Took over for
yeah.
Striker. Don't forget that.
That was a mid tier. That was early tier. Uh,
True.
no, in reality, I think Lunar's actually. I'd probably put him A tiers because I think we're already filling up S tier in terms of like performance and being a really solid tank that
He
came in
found a
and filled
spot in
into
the
the
guild
guild.
quick too.
Yeah, he's funny
Fit
too.
in.
Sometimes makes mean jokes, but you know,
You
really
can't win them
good,
all. You can't.
fun to be
Yeah.
around. Talked about New World way too much, like
Way
just
too
way too
much on
much.
someone. I almost
Yeah,
quit the game because of him.
I agree. That was a lot to handle, but really good. Did all the hard stuff on all the fights, which just further supplements death position as an F tier, and just fun to have around. I think really helped us get that cutting edge. Was always willing to take stuff on, so good
Right.
on you, Lunar.
Yeah. Good on you, Lunar. A tier. Well deserved. Maniac. I wish we saw more Maniac this tier. Um, we started off the tier with a pretty big roster and just didn't have a whole lot of room. I think
I
Maniac's actually a
agree,
really good player.
and he is, and I think very good
Nice guy
mechanically
too.
as well. Yeah, really nice guy. Also has I like his voice too. Again, someone who I just think is pleasant to listen to when he talks. It doesn't irritate you when he says something in the middle of a fight. Um, and so I would say, yeah, he didn't he didn't leave. I mean, he had to quit, which is I don't know why, but a lot of things go on. But since he quit and since the tier list is getting top heavy, I'd say C tier.
C tier. Okay. I just realized I forgot to put someone in here, and that's Squid. I really want to talk about Squid.
We'll say it at the end
We'll save it
then.
then. All right. Shtick. Swap from Ally. This tier.
Stick, you can say what you want. Stick is an instant S tier to me. I don't know what it is about that guy, but I just want to be his friend so bad. And we're not really friends, but Stick, if you're
Mm-hmm.
listening, I hope like our paths cross again and we can be best friends one day.
I think
There's
he's a
something
great
about
player.
him. He's
Definitely
very good as
very
well.
good in Mythic Pluses. Also,
Hmm.
I feel like he died a lot on P1 on Sylvanas. I'm not sure. Might be his class. Maybe he's like ramping or something. It's kind of hard to stay alive. I'm not sure. I know he's a great player at heart. S tier. Also funny. Also funny guy. You.
I mean, obviously, okay. Well,
uh, where do you think you deserve?
That's fine. Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Step
man, you're at least
Shaman.
D tier. You're at least D
Yeah,
tier. No
yeah.
one's on
D
the
tier on a
level,
good
same
stick.
level as Death.
That's true. There's no way. Yeah, we should have had a death tier actually. But Step Shaman.
Should I just rename this Death? Can I do that?
No, you probably can't. But I think Step Shaman good. I think he might have died a few times. I
Also
mean
came in
he's
mid tier.
yeah. I think he's been good the entire time. Probably died a lot. I mean all our healers die a lot, so it's all good I guess. Can't really replace you. So I I think all jokes aside, Step Shaman was great. Again, came in mid tier. I think a lot of us had known each other the whole like Castle Lathria tier, so um, you have to come into our little bubble and
Mm-hmm.
try to be as cool as me and you, and that's hard. So
It's really
I think
tough.
he did great. He healed, put the links down when he needed to, especially on that last platform on Sylvanas. Man, you gotta appreciate that. I'd probably say C or B tier. What do you think?
I think C.
Okay, I think yeah, sure. We'll
Great
go with
guy though.
C.
Striker.
Oh
Um,
man,
this is a
where to
tough
even
one.
start? It is because I'm so appreciative of him coming in and helping us finish the tier.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He really picked up the slack when
he
John.
did, and he's very good at the game. He's probably one of the best players. Something
You
about
say that, but
the
he does some dumb stuff.
yeah, he sure does make some real silly mistakes. You can't really tell any, you can't say anything to him either because he's basically immune, just like all the officers. So
He's passionate, very
I mean, if
passionate.
we were literally going off pure talent
S tier,
at World of Warcraft rating, S
S
tier for
plus.
sure. But since that's not the only thing we're going off of,
I
and I
think
like
he's.
talking to him too.
I think he's F tier just for picking up the slack that John handed him. He
Yeah,
really
we have to
coached
give
us
him an
through
S tier. I can't even
Sylvanas.
make a joke about it. I mean, it was very important. I also really like Striker, so I mean, yeah, we'll put him up there at the S tier.
Turtle. He quit.
D
I don't
tier.
care if
Yep.
I don't care if it's real life or not.
And he didn't say goodnight to you back.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This is Zeph.
Seth.
Um, where do we start?
I don't know. I don't know where to start.
I'm glad someone wants to play warrior.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Zeth, I do like Zeth. He's fine enough, but I think I think he probably fits into the B tier. He was also contributing a lot to that New World chat, but
Yeah,
in
I think he
reality,
did it on
when it
purpose.
matters, oh yeah, probably, obviously.
He would get Lunar
Um,
started. You know,
hmm I like the guy a lot. He's very
reliable.
reliable as a player. Doesn't
Hmm.
die very often. Doesn't make stupid mistakes. I mean, he dies, but like it's so we all make those kinds of mistakes. It's pretty consistent. Um, yeah, I'd say probably a solid B tier here.
Okay, I can agree with that. Zura. Ugh. Uh, great guy.
Hmm
Little creepy. Little gross. Little sweaty.
Yeah, has a
Um,
race car bed.
has a race car bed and anime profile picture.
He is probably one of the best like players.
I
Just in
think the
terms
game's too
of
easy for him.
yeah, I honestly yeah. And the other thing is he one tricks Twitch on League because and it makes sense. Most people who have race car beds also watch IRL all the time, and I think that's why he does that in League. So I think if we're taking in all the factors, you can't really deny he's probably one of the better overall players. But I think the biggest thing holding him back from S tier is the fact that his mom tucks him in and he eats like
String
those
cheese a
those
lot.
those crustless like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. So
Right. And his
I'd
mom
say
cuts
A
up his
tier
chicken
because he's
nuggets.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
and his
A
mom
tier.
has to cut his sandwiches in half for him. Yep. Okay. So yep. I
That
think
makes the
that's
tier
it.
list. Yeah. And then Squid.
Squid.
If we had, I hate that I forgot him. I don't know how I missed him. Sorry, Squid. But I think Squid deserves S tier.
I
Um,
do too for coming in late. Yeah.
yeah. Well, coming in late, he stuck. He was benched quite a bit on most of the bosses, um, due to the large roster, and
Me
he
and him
stuck
should
it
be
through.
B for benched.
You were never benched.
Well, I was last year. Obviously, I play class. You can't bench now. But, anyways, yeah. So I mean, I totally get it. It's good to be available when you can, and I think he did good on Sylvanas. Obviously, died a few times here and there, but you just can't deny consistency is
He really
everything,
picked it up,
and
and he came
20
on
man team.
as Warlock for that reclear when I was out that one night, and y'all
Yep.
two-shot Payne Smith. So
And he's just a fun guy to be around. He's
good
funny. He's
attitude,
light spirited. Yeah, he's
reliable.
just a pleasant guy. Yeah. So
It's whatever
I
the
would
guild
say
needs is the reliable
I would say S tier as well because I think it was
squid. You're
absolutely
here.
critical we had him for the only boss that mattered in the tier. So
Yep. All right. Can you think of anyone else I forgot for some reason?
no, I think we're good here. I think that covers everyone.
Okay.
It was fun. It was a good ride. I had a lot of fun. Some of you I hope I never see again, but
Yeah. Eric.
overall, yeah, Eric specifically. But yeah, I think this looks right. This looks right.
I hope we all come together for either the next raid or the next expansion, like Wild Hogs.
I do too. I yeah, all 20 of us back at it. We'll clear even faster next time. John will already be married. Um,
Death Lab
yeah,
Baby.
and then I think yeah, the last thing I want to bring up is that most people probably don't know, but Death is 5'2". Um,
Nothing
I think
wrong with
that makes
that.
sense. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, of course. I think that's it though.
All
Great
right.
boot. I think we've
This was
covered
fun. I'm glad we
everyone.
did this.
I'm too. I had a really good
Hope no one
time.
takes offense.
Yeah,
If
I
you take
did. This was
offense,
great.
don't. It's fun. All right. I'm stopping the recording.